Good, Deanne. Welcome to the final match day of the preliminary phase of the T20 festival. I'm here with Best Motors Marchin Patriots captain Ajan Ali, of course, and Profile Bow Victoria Sports captain as well, Johan Jeremiah, match official Afraz Mohammed, and secretary of the National League, Rajendra Parai. So we're gonna have the toss. Over to you, Afraz Mohammed. Ajan, what 1 minute? Ajan, you want to toss? What you decided to do?
Yeah, we're gonna have a bowl first, and then we chase whatever they post for us. Hopefully, we can restrict them to a good total that we could chase and chase with overs this way as well.
What's it feeling like in the camp? It's basically a quarter final for your team, or how's the vibes like?
I mean, basically, when we started the tournament in this specific group that we are in, we said to ourselves, every game is a knockout. So we've been playing all games like that. Fortunately, after last game, we still have another opportunity today, and it's a must-win for us. So we definitely look forward to it, and we are basically in final mode then.
Okay, John, all the best, play well. Thank you. And now we're joined by captain of Victoria, Johan Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the tournament didn't go as you would have liked, but hoping to end on a positive note.
Yeah, the tournament didn't go as we wanted it to go, but nevertheless, it's the last game. I think it's, as I always tell the guys, it's not how well you start, sometimes it's how well you end. So, they're still personal pride to play for. So I think it's just for the guys to go there and give it their last game.
Any changes to your squad from your last match?
Yes, Ethan Ball comes in. That's the only major change.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Johan, thanks and all the best.
Thank you.
So that's it for the toss here. Ajan Ali winning the toss for the Best Motors Marchin Patriots, and they're going to have a bowl first. Good afternoon and welcome to the final match day of the preliminary phase of the T20 festival. My name is Jelani Beckles, and on behalf of the entire 360 TV team, it's a privilege to bring you this match between Profilbao Victoria Sports Club and Best Motors Marchin Patriots. For Marchin Patriots is as straightforward as if they win, they will progress to the semi-finals on Friday. Of course, Victoria, fortunate for them, they're just playing for pride this afternoon. Even a win won't take them through to the knockout phase, but of course, as you would have heard a short while ago, the captain, Johan Jeremiah, hoping to end this tournament on a high. So just a few moments away from this game bowling off. We're going to have a look at the table shortly. Maybe in a few minutes time, we're going to have the table for you. Just of course, Group A already decided as well. So this is the final match day, as I mentioned. Tomorrow we'll have final match day of the preliminary phase. Tomorrow we'll have the semi-final of the Premier 2 competition. And on Friday, the Premier 1 semis, and of course the grand finals on Saturday, May 23rd. So into the business end of the T20 festival, as they say. Raymond Reefer will open the bowling for the Patriots and opening batting for Victoria. Captain Jeremiah, Aaron Nanan. So here we go, first ball. So just push onto the offside, so off the mark immediately. Skipper Jeremiah. Of course, Patriots already winning a title earlier this season. They were crowned the 50 over champions. Trying to add a T20 crown to their name in this 2026 season. Of course, great day for TNT Cricket, the TNT Red Force team, wrapping up the 4-day regional title just about an hour ago. So we want to say congratulations to the TNT Red Force, defeating Guyana Harp Eagles in the final, played in Antigua. So 20-year wait is over for the Red Force. Absolutely a memorable way for veteran batsman Jason Mohammed to sign off his career. This is his last match for the TNT Red Force. He actually was a part of that team that won the title in 2006. So Jason Mohammed, want to wish him all the best in his future endeavors. What a career it has been for Jason Mohammed. Reefer. So an attempted cut shot. That's a half-hearted appeal. Not signaled a wide. Well, Jeremiah did step across a bit to the offside. Another single for Jeremiah. Of course, the wicket that is being used today makes the western end of the ground is a short boundary on that side, much larger boundary on the eastern side of the ground. Of course, Victoria trying to play spoilers this afternoon. If they win, it will prevent Marchin Patriots from getting into that semi-finals. Of course, the TNT Red Force team captained by West Indies wicketkeeper Joshua De Silva, trying to get back into the West Indies team this year. De Silva. Some shot down the ground, just a single. The decent start here by Reefer. It's 5 without loss. Just into over number 1. Because the Patriots, one of their very own, Evan Lewis, had a deliver the goods in the 4-day final, scoring a century to lead the batting for the Red Force in that second innings. So that's the end of over number 1 and at the end of it, Victoria 6 without loss. Tishon Castro will be the other opening bowler. He'll come in to bowl from the southern end of the ground. Watchful start here by Victoria, just 6 without loss. Yeah, that Red Force victory well set up by Evan Lewis. Also, Jaden Seals had a brilliant all-round game as well, scoring 17 in his team's first innings. Taking quite a few wickets in this match as well. Well supported by fellow fast bowler Anderson Phillip. So just driven back to Castro, who does a fielding. Yeah, that Red Force victory will certainly have the local cricketing community very satisfied this afternoon. Turn pulled away, runs here four. It will be four, so that boundary very short on that leg side for Johan Jeremiah, and he gets four on this occasion. Just a bit short. Just pulling that away. Beat that mid-wicket fielder. Looks like Camille Puran there at mid-wicket. Tried to put in the dive there, Puran, but couldn't stop it. So first boundary of this innings comes off the bat of Jeremiah. 10 without loss now, Victoria. Another single. My apologies. That was not Camille Puran actually putting in the dive at mid-wicket a short while ago. That was Danny Ramjit Singh. Tashro. Now just quick single here taken. Get him quite comfortably in the end. Ricky Jaipal couldn't pick that one up quick enough to attempt a run out. 12 without loss, Victoria. As has been the case throughout this tournament, this is the first match of a doubleheader scheduled for today. Of course, another Group B match will take place later today at 7 p.m. Maryboy Sports Club come up against KFC Clark Road United. Yes, all to play for here for the Patriots. A win will see them through to that semi-finals on Friday. So they struck down the ground runs here. We'll get another boundary here, Jeremiah. So 2 fours in this over for the Victoria skipper. And that will bring the over to a close. And at the end of over number 2, expensive over there by Tishan Castro. Victoria now 18 without loss. Sorry, 16 without loss. Yeah, so as we mentioned the standings a short while ago, this is standings Group B, so it's straightforward. You're seeing Patriots now in 3rd position. If so, this is their final match, so a victory will guarantee them a top 2 finish in this group, and later we'll have another virtual quarterfinal, so to speak, because the winner of that game will also book a spot in that semi-final round on Friday. So a lot to play for here this afternoon and tonight. Of course, Victoria at the tournament they would have liked, but still hoping to end on a positive note here this afternoon. Just an attempted cut shot. It was very straight to attempt that cut shot, just missing that off stump. So Nanan gets away with that one. Chandrapal Hemraj has started his first over. This one just flicked onto the leg side. Quick single taken. Chandrapal Hemraj, of course, Guyanese. He would have been a part of many of those 40 titles Guyana won over the last decade. Let's make an adjustment to his feel here, Hemraj. Struck onto the offside, another dot delivery, so tight start here by left arm spinner Hemraj. So flicked onto the leg side runs here. Should get at least 2 here. Jeremiah will complete 2 runs quite easily. Again, a similar shot played almost in identical position there. Jeremiah, so 2 more to the total. Ricky Jaipal does the fielding. Just 5 runs coming off that over by Hemraj. Victoria 21 without loss. Riemann Rifa. Well, ball from the southern end. So just pushed away onto the offside. Ramjit Singh does the fielding. Of course, Riemann Rifa, Barbadian Riemann Rifa, and Guyanese Chandrapal Hemraj was brought in during the season to strengthen his Patriots outfit. Certainly worked so far. Patriots, of course, the pair of Rifa and Hemraj was part. They were involved in that 50 over final that Patriots won a few weeks ago. Hoping to add some more silverware to the cabinet in this 2026 season. Rifa. And it's caught and he's out. Just pushing at that one tentatively outside the off stump, Nanan, and got a outside edge, and keeper Agent Ali takes the catch. So early breakthrough here for Patriots. Just having a look at that replay again. Yeah, well, take outside edge. Poor shot selection there by Nanan, trying to play that one from outside the off stump and trying to flick that one through the mid-wicket region. So really should have been looking to play that one straight back to the bowler or probably through the covers. So early breakthrough here for Patriots, just what they would have wanted. 21 for 1 now. Jeremiah Cruikshank will be the new batsman. He will join his captain, Jeremiah. You're trying to force that shot, Nanan. Thick edge went straight through to the keeper, wicketkeeper Ali. It was a low catch, but very comfortable. So 21 for 1 now, Victoria. Very quiet power play so far for the Southern-based Victoria United. Jeremiah Cruikshank despite his young age, still already getting into coaching. He was the coach of the Holy Name Convent cricket team that won the girls T20 Intercol T20 title a few weeks back. So now bounce on this occasion by Reefer. Signal a wide way over the head of Cruikshank. Cruikshank, not a tall man, but was well over his head. So some aggressive stuff here by Reefer. Cruikshank off the mark, just tucking that one onto the leg side. Reefer. So pulled away by Cruikshank, runs here. And we'll go for four here. That short boundary on that leg side for Jeremiah. So once it beats the infield, it most likely will run away to the boundary for four, and it did on that occasion. Yeah, so Jeremiah facing the bulk of the delivery so far for Victoria. He moves the score along to 20. Yeah, no chance there for Ricky Jaipal. Feeling at mid-on. This one a wide out, chipping down the wicket on this occasion, Jeremiah, but it was too wide for him to attempt a shot on that occasion. Good to see that positivity from Jeremiah. This one again, wide outside that off stump, signal wide again, so third wide in the over by Raymond Reefer. See Reefer use that strategy a lot, trying to bowl wide out the stumps, making it difficult for batsmen to get to it. Often when he does that, he runs the risk of his deliveries being called a wide. So driven down the ground. It's a single. We'll find Jaipal at mid-on. So just another single to Cruikshank. I'll bring over to a close. 31 for 1. Ricky Jaipal has been introduced into the attack. Ricky Jaipal, of course, very prolific this season in all formats of the game, both in 2-day competition, the 50 over competition, 30 over competition, and now the T20. Some felt he was a bit unlucky to be overlooked for the Red Force this season. Was called up for one match early in the campaign. Didn't get to play in that. Didn't get himself into the starting 11 though. Jaipal. Certainly he'll get his opportunity sometime down the road. A quick single here taken. Well, a quick chance for a run out there. A direct hit by Puran would have made it very close. Here, Kamil Puran running in quickly and in one flowing action. Yeah, I think it would have been I think he was gone. Yeah, didn't get his bat down in time. Cruikshank, so very close call there. Cruikshank, luckily for Cruikshank, Puran just missed the stump, so he survives. That single brings Jeremiah back on strike. So just punch down the ground. So pulled away in the air. Yeah, the large side of the ground, but just out of reach of Kamil Puran running to his left, feeling at square leg, and it just one bounce into the ropes. Yeah, that's the long side of the boundary, but well played, and Puran couldn't get close to that one. Yeah, it was always out of his reach, Puran. So 4 more to Jeremiah. He pushes the score along to 25 now of 17 deliveries. Again, a similar shot. This one in the air, closer to Puran, and he's out caught. So attempting a similar shot. This one right down the throat of Kamil Puran, and he takes the catch. So another wicket goes. So Victoria now 36 for 2. Yeah, Puran just had to run enough, about 10 yards or so from the boundary. Took a comfortable catch in the end. So 2 wickets already for Patriots in this 6-over power play. Jeremiah getting a start but couldn't convert. So depart for 25 off 18 deliveries. Marchin Patrick will be the new batsman for Victoria. Of course, Marchin Patrick, a former West Indies under 19 player. Need a partnership here now, Victoria. Nothing to play for here, Victoria, but still hoping to end this tournament on a high, which has been a rough tournament for the Southerners. Yeah, no victories for Victoria this season. So in this competition, 3 losses. This is the 4th and final match of the group phase. And just push forward along the ground to Jaipal. I'll bring it over to an end. So Jaipal makes his presence felt immediately. And at the end of 5 overs, Victoria now 36 for 2. So you're going to see some more spin. Kashi Singh will replace Raymond Reefer from the southern end of the ground. Strong start here for the Patriots. Of course, they need a victory here to book a semi-final spot. Keep their chances alive of getting a second title this season after winning the 50 over Crown a few weeks ago. Singh. Cruikshank just punching this one onto the offside. Yeah, a lot of spin options for the Patriots in their lineup. Of course, Ricky Jaipal, Chandra Paul Hemraj as well. Kashi Singh now. This one appeal for an LBW, just half-hearted appeal there by keeper Adrian Ali. Shot down the ground straight to Singh. Singh keeping Cruikshank very quiet here so far. 3-dot deliveries to start his spell. Kashi Singh. Runs here for Cruikshank, just a single. Yeah, so just 2 deliveries left in this 6-over power play. Not the best start this afternoon for Victoria. 37 for 2. Singh into Patrick. Quick single here taken. Another risky single. Christian Turton did the fielding on that occasion, so not so tight start to his spell for Kashi Singh. Just 2 runs coming off that 6th over, and at the end of the power play, Victoria moving along a bit slowly now. 38 for 2. Shanapal Hemraj will come back into the attack, replaces Ricky Jaipal. Soon I'll welcome Dylan Sharma to the commentary booth. So just pushing this one onto the leg side. Just get 1. Camille Puran does the fielding.
Yeah, pretty even start for both of these teams up to this point. Victoria with quite a decent start with the bat, but then those 2 wickets falling quite close together.
You need to build a partnership here now. Cruikshank and Patrick. So on the back foot, Peel fell bit over. Clearly had bat came off that one. Not sure if it was pad and then bat.
Yeah, definitely heard the bat on that occasion.
You seem to be bat first, so certainly not out on this occasion. Attempting to sweep this one, Cruikshank. Seemed to come off the pad. Actually, no, did get some bats on it.
Yeah, I don't think Hemeraj would mind him playing that shot too much. Has majority of that leg side field deep, so might be trying to tempt him into a top edge, or if he just misses it, it could LBW.
Some hesitation there for a moment, but they will get a single in the end. And cuts away runs here for Cruikshank. Now will run away to the boundary for 4. Just slashing at that one, was wide outside the off stump. And will get his first boundary of the afternoon.
Gave himself a bit of room that time. It was quite close to the off stump looking back at it, but once he made that room for himself and saw the gap, he placed it quite nicely.
He actually thought it was much wider than that. Just on about the off stump line.
Yeah, I think Himraj is definitely more dangerous when he targets those stumps. And this surface throughout, it hasn't been quite as easy to score runs as the other 2 surfaces that have been in use. So you have to temper the expectation as to what target they want.
So a play and a miss by Patrick. Singh starts his second over.
Well, that's another thing. Patrick, at the end of the previous game, was struggling a bit to get himself going. They could have easily passed 200 in that previous game against PowerGen, but there's a bit of a slowdown at the end. A good comeback in the bowling for PowerGen, of course.
This one struck through the offside. Just partially stopped by Reefer. Should get a single.
What you see as well here is Kastri Singh operating from the southern end of the ground, was operating from the northern end in the previous game, so good awareness and good use of the bigger boundary. Looking to make the right-hander try to hit it with the spin to that bigger side, but of course it's also going to be against the wind.
Driven runs here for Patrick with just a single. Camille Puran on that cover boundary. Yeah, field well spread now. 6 fielders on the boundary. Actually 5, my apologies. 3 on the leg side for Cruikshank, 2 on the offside. There's an appeal for an LBW, not out, says the umpire.
Yeah, it's always going to be difficult to get the LBW from this angle he's coming from. It's not not the sharpest turn of the ball as well. Definitely hitting, but looked to be pitching outside leg.
Yeah, pitching outside here. Acres of space on that leg side. 3 fielders on the boundary, just 1 inside. Easy single there. And at the end of 8 overs, Victoria batting first and now 51 for 2. It's going at about 6.4 runs and over now, so we'll be hoping for a few more, couple big overs as this innings progresses. Hemraj continues. So struck down the ground. Big hit here by Cruikshank, and it goes all the way for 6. So flat 6 on that occasion by Cruikshank.
You need to try to push this innings along at this stage now. Saw that one was dropped a bit shorter, and he chose to go straight, knowing that there wasn't too much deviation off the pitch. So just choose a strong shot and a great area there. Long on fielder was just to the right of that as well.
Again, it's tempting us. Another shot down the ground, but this time finds Shai Paul at long on. Didn't time it as he would have liked. Cruikshank. So just flicked away. Good shot there by Patrick. Deserved more than a single, but Reefer just had to move about 10 yards or so to his left at long on. Just a single. Seeing no more aggression shown by Cruikshank in this over.
Yeah, he feels set right now. He knows that this partnership here is key.
So it struck hard. Back to him, Raj. I'm not sure if to say a drop catch or he saved 4, but it was a half chance. Yeah, those sort of catches are just lucky if they stick or not, and didn't stick on this occasion. 61 for 2, Victoria. Of course, later on we'll see Merry Boys of the West against KFC Clark Road United from the South. So West versus South later on in what will be a winner-take-all. Winner will go through to the semi-finals on Friday.
Big knockout match there later. Of course, this match does have a lot of importance to the group as well.
Yeah, Patriots eager for that win to go through. This one runs here for Patrick. May go all the way for 4, and it does. Well, actually, brilliant stop there by Puran. Showing a bit of footwork there. Saved a couple runs.
Lovely fielding on the boundary.
Yeah, probably trying to make it onto a World Cup roster next month. The FIFA World Cup, of course, just a few weeks away. Puran showing some excellent footwork there. This one finds Puran again.
Yeah, it's gonna be World Cup fever next month. Which team do you support?
Oh, I've been a Brazilian fan quite some time now, but Brazil a bit inconsistent in the last few years. Not one of the favorites for one of the first times in probably history. And really, but I'm still going down with my team.
I still remember the hype around that 2014 campaign very clearly.
Yeah, that's when they hosted the tournament in Brazil. Not a memorable tournament for Brazil, losing 7-1 to Germany in semi-finals.
I still remember that game very clearly too.
What a sad day for me it was. Of course, a lot of people talking about France as one of the favorites in this tournament, led by Mbappe, of course, the Real Madrid star.
Yeah, my favorites are always Netherlands and Argentina.
Of course, Argentina trying to go back to back in what will certainly be Lionel Messi's last World Cup.
I've been hearing that every World Cup.
Yeah,
for
well,
the
actually, yeah, the last World Cup they said the same thing about Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and they're still playing. So I guess I have to be careful with my words. So down the ground runs here for Cruikshank, but just finds a fielder. That's Raymond Rifa running to his left at mid wicket. So just a single.
partnership 30 off of 29. You can see that Cruikshank especially is looking to go for it, but it's just not coming onto the bat that easily.
Yeah, certainly last over or two trying to increase the scoring rate here, but struggling to get the boundaries regularly. This on a play and a miss by Patrick.
A lovely delivery there. Just before that drinks break, one more to go.
Getting through the overs pretty quickly so far. Patriots with, of course, with a lot of spin bowlers in action that will help the over rate, of course. So just push onto the offside. So we'll end the 10th over with a single. So 67 for 2. We're going to have a short drinks break. I'll be back in a few minutes' time.
So we see Ricky Jaipal re-entering the attack. Picked up 1 wicket earlier. Now he's back after the drinks break.
The reverse sweep on this occasion by Patrick and works out perfectly for him. Just 2 bounces and 4.
Very good shot there by Matthew Patrick. He knows Jaipal wants him to attack that bigger side. He saw the field on that offside was in the ring. So he looked to use that reverse sweep and attack that area of the field. So 4 very well thought out runs.
Yeah, they certainly will need to increase his scoring rates in the second half of this first innings. 71 for 2 now. Of course, if they continue at this rate, they'll just get around 137 the projected score. So we're hoping for at least 160 or so to really challenge this pretty strong Patriots batting lineup. Another reverse sweep, more runs here. Well, a misfield and goes for another boundary. So back-to-back 4s here for Matthew Patrick.
Goes for it again this time. However, trying to hit it along the ground. So I'm trying to keep it down that time. So even less risk on that occasion. And it's still same result.
Yeah, I think that was Danny Ramjit Singh at backward point position. Just couldn't put in a dive, but couldn't prevent it from going to the boundary. This one played back onto the stumps. Appeal for an LBW. Well, Jaipal is thought he had his man, but yeah, take a look at, he's in this disbelief. He thought got a second wicket, but not out, says the umpire. Oh, well, I'll tell you, it didn't look like a pretty decent shot, but was pitching.
It's a bit difficult to tell this pitch off-centered.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty good shot, but
hopefully it's not in use for the semi-finals and finals, just sending a message across to those administrators. But it did look very close. I can understand the reaction.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good shot. He's very confident in that appeal. Jaipal, a quick single here taken. He'll have to scamper and
we only know if that could have ever been out had the hit been direct.
Well, the keeper agent Ali seems to have injured himself in the trying to collect that throw from Jaipal. Yeah, he's on the ground. Gonna have a little break in play here now. And at the end of 11 overs, we're gonna have a short break. Victoria 76 for 2. So players about to resume here after a short injury break. wicketkeeper, Patriots wicketkeeper Adrian Ali seemed to have been suffering what looked like a bit of cramp. Kashi Singh to continue. This one seemed to surprise Patrick with a bit of extra bounce.
Yeah, you see the bounce isn't the most consistent on the surface. Of course, Kashi Singh will extract a bit of extra out of it given the pace he bowls at.
Speaking of an inconsistent bounce, I wonder if they flew in that pitch from Sir Vivian Richards Stadium and brought it at the Queen's Park Oval.
I don't think it's anywhere near that much.
Just want to see if a chance there for stumping. Ali got a bit excited there behind the stumps, but yeah, so these two still not going into a second gear just yet. Both just going at a wrong strike rate of 100. Certainly look to find the boundaries more consistently in these last 8-9 overs. Singh, Patrick give himself room, cut that on away.
Was that a chance?
Well, I'm wondering if... Yeah, look at that reaction of the wicketkeeper Adrian Ali. It seemed to... Yeah, straight in and straight out. Well, you don't expect somebody with Reefer's ability and quality to put that down, but Patrick gets a life. But initially I thought it was struck into the ground, but looking at the reaction from Adrian Ali, I think it certainly was a drop catch. Very tight stuff here by Kashi Singh. He's in just one delivery left in his spell and just conceding 13 runs. Singh. So struck down the ground, just a single. That will end a brilliant spell by Kashi Singh, just conceding 14 runs in his 4 overs. Patriots now still moving along relatively slowly here, now 78 for 2.
Yeah, very brilliant spell there from Kashi Singh. You see 12 dots, half of his deliveries with dot deliveries in that spell. They do still have the option of more off spin if they would like it in Danny Ramjit Singh. That's the beauty of this bowling lineup. They have 4 spin options they can use, and they also still have 3 pace options in Castro, Reefer, and Ramlogan.
Yeah, a lot of bowling options certainly, but speaking of options, it will be Ricky Jaipal to continue. Left arm spinner. It's on a big swing and a miss by Cruikshank. Seemed to just miss that off stump as well. Yeah, if you look at the strike rates of both Patrick and Cruikshank, not the pace that I would have wanted. We'll get runs here. It'll be a single. We'll come back for 2. So 2 runs to Cruikshank.
He's been patrolling out there all day, Kamil Puran, and he's done very well.
Yeah, ball seems to be following him today. Probably fielded the ball at least 7 or 8 times in this match already. That projected score just 128. It's going out long at 6.5 runs and over now. So another play and a miss by Cruikshank. So probably getting a bit frustrated now. Jeremiah Cruikshank knows overs are starting to run out. I don't blame him. 8 wickets in hand. Need to try to get a move on. He's playing that one defensively, so another dot delivery. Bit overcast on the eastern end of the ground. Hope that rain stays away though. No threat of rain right now. This one just pushed along the ground. So another dot delivery. Just 2 runs off that. Well, Patrick and Jaipal just having a bit of fun there. 80 for 2.
So now we see some pace returning from that Brian Lara Pavilion end. Valdo Ramlogan.
Yeah, certainly somebody in Valdo's family wanted him to be a footballer, but he chose cricket. I think that worked out pretty well for him.
He's operating with a 3rd man backward point, deep cover, extra cover, and long off on the offside.
Trying a bit of innovation. Trying to get innovative there, Patrick, but didn't work out for him. Just trying to flick that one over his shoulder.
Leg side field, he has a fine leg in the ring, and then 3 fielders throughout the leg side in the deep. He's just brought up that square leg fielder now and sent out someone at a very far backward point. A wide 3rd man.
This one in the air, should be out caught, and is. So Reefer, who put a catch down just a short while ago, completes this catch. This one was even easier than the one he put down. Holds on this time, and Patrick has to depart.
That change worked out very well. Just changing the pace of the game. The batters thinking maybe they could release some pressure at this stage, but not so. He didn't time that one too well at all. Came off the bottom of the bat.
Yeah, easy catch. Didn't pick up the pace of that, speed of that delivery at all, Patrick. So his innings comes to a close. He has to depart for 22. And Ramlogan just gets a wicket in his very first over.
It was too easy a catch for Reefer there. Looked as if it had his name on it.
Eric Garcia makes his way to the middle. This Victoria inning, still struggling to find that second gear. See that projected score, just 123. That may not be enough to challenge this pretty strong batting lineup of the Patriots. Hopefully Garcia could provide some fireworks here for his team. A quick 25 or 30 runs here will come in. Will be very useful. Of course, this is the first match of the double header. Just confirming later on, we have Maryboy Sports Club versus KFC Clark Road United. Winner of that game will also book their place in the semi-finals. Ramlogan. Into new batter. Garcia just pushing that one along the ground back to Ramlogan. So
Yeah, just keeping it simple here, Ramlugan. This surface doesn't demand much more than that. It just gives you reward for doing the basics right, as a bowler that is.
quick single here.
Garcia now off the mark.
Of course, the Premier 2 teams will be in action tomorrow. It's their day to shine. The Premier 2 teams, semi-final action in the Premier 2 competition.
That first match will be between Caldrax and Endeavour Sports Club, and then the second match be action between two teams from the South Club, Sando and Woodland Sports Club. It's a Central Derby and a Sports Derby. A South Derby.
It's a single here too. Cruikshanks. Run still tough to come by here for Victoria. Just the 3 runs off this first over bowl by Ramlogan. 83 for 3. Yeah, just still moving along at just 6 runs and over. Don't shock in the air. Not sure if it has enough in it. It does not. He's out caught. So Garcia, his stay at the crease is a brief one. And Ramlogan has 2 wickets in the over.
Well, 2 wickets in the over. He's really flipped this game on its head. Could have been going any way had that partnership been able to carry on earlier, but now he's taken 2 quick wickets and really brought the game control back into Marchin Patriots' hands.
Yeah, Victoria well on top here now. Certainly 83 for 4. 6 overs remaining. 2 wicket. What an over there by Ramlogan. Yeah, I don't think it was that short. It was only fractionally short, so I'm not sure if it was the best shot selection there by Garcia.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been where he intended that shot to go as well. I think he was going more leg side or offside with that shot.
Yeah, so 6 overs left. If they could get 10 runs and over from this point, it'll get them to 143. I think they need at least around in the vicinity of at least 140, 150 to be competitive. Damien Joachim, I believe, is a new batsman. Yeah, Damien Joachim.
Yeah, I have to say, I think 140 could be a good total on this surface.
Hasn't been the most fluent innings here by Cruikshanks. He is strike rate 20 below 100, 25 of 29 deliveries. This one flicked onto the leg side. We'll bring new batsman Joachim to face his first delivery.
Yeah, early on in the season, he had a nice end of innings finish. Could he replicate that now?
Tell you what, they'll be very appreciative of a quick bit of a cameo here from Joachim, because they need one here. That projected score just 117. This one is cut away. Will get off the mark.
It was a bit streaky, was in the air for a few seconds, but well short of any of those close infielders.
Bang on target by Jaipal. Yeah, so Bongri still few and far between throughout this innings, really. Okay, and just pushing that one onto the leg side. Another single. What a spell as well by Jaipal, just on 5 runs and over. So far, this will be his last ball of his day, at least with the ball in hand. This one struck onto the leg side, runs here and will get 4. So welcome Bongri. Spoils the over 4. Ricky Jaipal, very much needed Bongri 4. Victoria, and at the end of with 5 overs left now, batting first in this contest on 91 for 4.
It looked like he tried to pull that one a bit quicker onto the stumps, but Cruikshank has been there for so long. He's faced quite a bit of bowling against Jaipal in this spell, so he would have known what he was doing there. So good shot to finish out there.
Yeah, need a couple big overs in these last 5 overs, Victoria. Valo Ramlogan, who took 2 wickets in his first over, will continue from the southern end. This one a play and a miss outside the off stump. Call a wide. Seemed a bit harsh, that call. Struck down the ground. May just be a single, it is.
Yeah. Just noticed that it was getting a bit overcast around. Just had a look out the back though. It doesn't seem to be coming this direction, most of it towards the north. And well, towards the south, completely clear.
Cruikshank now 31 off 32 deliveries. So struck down the ground. Well, much needed 6, and it goes all the way for 6. So Jeremiah Cruikshank has attempted quite a few big shots this afternoon, not timing in it as well as you would have liked, but timed that one to perfection.
That one was asking for that treatment. It was right there in the slot. He didn't have to move too much, did Cruikshank, and got full reward, 6 runs over extra cover.
Yeah, excellent shot there by Cruikshank. Moves the score along to 37. Can he get Victoria to possibly 140, 145? Well set now, Cruikshank. He'll hope to take them to the end. This one just pushed on. Just struck. We should get 2 here. Well, thought they had a chance for 2, but had to run probably maybe 40 yards off the boundary. Jaipal prevented a second run. Ran the first one hard, especially Cruikshank, but had to settle for that single. Single also brought up the 100 for Victoria in the 16th over. So shut down the ground and get 6 more. So 2 sixes in this over. What a hit by Joachim.
Was that one up into the second level there? He sent that up into the Brian Lara Pavilion.
Yeah, that would have been a 6 and probably on most grounds around the world. What a hit.
Joachim getting in on the action now. Was a bit wide, freed his arms very nicely and with a lot of contact on it. Definitely stayed up at the top there. I think that's very close to the camera position actually.
Yeah, big hit by Joachim. So productive over, fruitful over here so far for Victoria. And he's but he's out. So he doesn't last the over after what was turning in to be a great over for Victoria. Another big shot attempted by Joachim, but he could only get a thick outside edge and find a short third man fielder. He's out.
Yeah, one slash too much there from Joachim. Ramluga nicely dropped his length back, kept it wide enough, but not too wide. And it was just too far away from the full bat swing. Didn't get enough power on it, and well,
yeah, that's so as soon as this partnership started to build some momentum, Rafalo Ramlogan can't stay out of the action for very long at all. He gets his third wicket.
yeah, I don't think they would mind those 2 sixes all that much with Marchin Patriots after that 5th wicket has fallen now. But still the set man Cruikshank out there.
Ethan Ball is the new batsman for Victoria. Tough position to come into bat now. Doesn't have any time to settle in at all. Just more than 4 overs remaining in this innings. Gets off the mark immediately, Ball.
He played that one very effortlessly for a first delivery. Guided that beautifully. Says, like to keep the strike for first ball of the last 4 overs. 107 for 5.
Yeah, so 10 overs from this point will get Victoria to 147. Tarifa back into attack for his third over.
It's usually this period in the match where he tends to shine so much. More of a middle and death overs bowler than an opening bowler throughout most of his career, but he's done very well opening up in this tournament as well so far. But here with his change-ups, his left arm angle, he'd look to pick up a few more wickets and try to close this one out quickly for his team.
So shut down the ground. Does it have enough in it? It does not. Catch completed. Tishon Castro completes the catch at long on. So another wicket goes. And it's a set batsman as well.
That's exactly why Raymond Rifa was brought back here. You saw that one was just continually going away from the batter with that angle. Tried to go straight, but that long on fielder is perfectly placed.
Yeah.
On there, Tishon Castro, he'll be back in the attack quite soon as well.
Yeah, well, probably would have been better probably trying to play that one onto the offside, Cruikshank. So things starting to fall apart a bit here for Victoria. 6 wickets down now.
Yeah, real damaging blow there for Victoria, looking to try to accelerate in these last 4 overs with set batsman Cruikshank. The last thing that Victoria would want is to be bowled out within the allocated amount of overs. As I would have mentioned earlier, they're just about 32 runs away now from a 140 target, which I think could still be challenging on this surface.
Reefer. So on a play and a miss outside the off stump.
Yes, a perfect wide Yorker. Field is currently working with a wide slip, deep wide third man, cover sweeper, extra cover in the ring, long off, long on, deep mid wicket, backward square and fine leg inside the circle.
So on another, this one will be called a wide.
Yeah, that's always the high risk, high reward sort of approach with those wide Yorkers. It's so close to that wide line at times.
Yeah, see a lot of bowlers try that strategy. Romario Shepherd tries that a lot as well. Daniel Babb, forgot to say he's a new batsman. Gets off the mark, Babb. It's a single. Just 3 runs off this 17th over so far, bowled by Reefer. Runs here for Victoria. They'll get 1, they'll come back for 2. But just 5 runs coming off that. Raymond Reefer over. And at the end of 17, actually, seems to be 1 delivery to go. My apologies. Yeah, it's still decent overs, just 5 runs off this over so far, bowled by Reefer. Just scramble a leg by. So there's 6 runs coming off that over, bowled by Reefer. That'll bring the 17th over to a close, and at the end of 17, Victoria now
1-1-3 for 6.
Yeah, there's still just probably 1 big over from getting to that 140 mark, 145. Need to probably get an over with maybe 15 or 16 runs. Of course, they've lost the set batsman in Jeremiah Cruikshank. So shook away. Just a single down to Khalid Charan. Tishon Castro back into the attack.
Just 1 over he bowled earlier. Unless all those options again throughout the middle phase. He could have come back on for one, but he didn't need to. And that's something in T20 cricket that's so vital. Bowler can have an off day. And you always want to have a backup option. It's not just a part-timer.
Big swing and a miss by Ball. This one will be called a wide. Castro using a similar strategy as we have seen from Raymond Reefer, trying to bowl wide of the stumps.
Of course, very different to the strategy we saw from Ram Logan, which has already produced 3 wickets.
Struck down the ground, didn't time it, so just be a single. Yeah, boundary's still tough to come by here for Victoria. Just 4 runs off this over so far.
Yeah, that run restriction probably more key than the wickets at this stage for Marchin Patriots.
Don't struck down the ground. Don't think he has enough on it, but it will land well short of Reefer running in from that mid-wicket boundary, deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, that bigger boundary to that side was always going to be a hearty task to clear with that shot. 119 for 6 now.
Raymond Reefer will bowl his 4th and final over. Again, good. At Yorker line delivery, making scoring very difficult for Victoria. Deliveries, 11 balls left in this innings, trying to get to that 140 run mark, I'm sure, Victoria. Almost a wide called.
Yeah, not getting that wide Yorker right on that occasion.
Struck down the ground quite firmly, but there's a lot of protection on the boundary. Castro does the fielding. This one well struck this time and will get 6. Hitting that one into the on the short side of the field, and 6 runs needed indeed.
Absolutely brilliant there. He came across, he knew where he was trying to hit that ball. Couldn't have to count on him missing his length, but that certainly didn't hurt.
So 9 deliveries left. 129 for 6, so that 140 looking a lot more possible now after that 6 struck by Bob. This one just struck down to the point boundary. Well, some of the Patriots players not pleased with the fielding effort there by Camille Puran. Brilliant Yorker by Reefer. Well kept out as well by Bob.
Still they're able to get a run. Good squeezing here by Victoria. Making sure that there's no dot deliveries at this stage.
132 for 6 now. 7 balls left in this innings. So it's only 2 or 3 more boundaries. Could still get him to maybe 145, 150. Reefer. So just tucked onto the leg side. He'll get 1. They'll think of 2, but have to settle for 1. So at the end of 19 overs, Victoria Sports now 133 for 6. Yeah, so this will be the last over of this innings. This one played down to mid-wicket, just a single to start the over. Well, I just realized too, maybe in for a treat in these semi-finals, but not sure if those TNT Red Force players should return to Trinidad tomorrow. So I'm not sure if they will. A lot of these players very dedicated to their club, so I'm suspecting some of those Red Force players may feature for their clubs in the semi-finals on Friday. This one a player is out court. So going for another big hit there, Daniel Bob, but only could find the edge through to wicketkeeper Adrian Ali. So another wicket goes.
Yeah, very good thinking by Castro on that occasion. Knew they would have been expecting a lot of Yorkers. And this time he just put it back of a good length. Not sure what shot he was looking to play there though, Daniel Bob.
Yeah, no, that Red Force 4-day tournament ending today. And those players coming back, most likely coming into the country tomorrow. Teams such as Queen's Park and Power Gen with quite a few Red Force players will be maybe a lot stronger for those. Well, at least Queen's Park will be a lot stronger. I know they are into the semi-finals, Queen's Park.
Yeah, right here, of course, we're looking at Marchin Patriots as well with Evan Lewis and Joshua James. Yeah, difficult for Power Gen having the least on the run rate scale there. They'd have to hope that Victoria were to pull out a victory here first, and then still in the second game, those calculations will still have to be considered. So they're not going to know until the entire day's play is completed.
Yeah. Kind of standings here difficult for Portgen to get into the semi-finals. Just a single. So excellent over here so far by Castro this last over. Of course, defending champions Queen's Park, very clinical so far in this tournament. Seem very...
Almost got a scare in their last match from the under-19s.
Ending that group stage with a perfect 4 wins out of 4 Queen's Park. Of course, they are the defending champions in this of the T20 festival. So, trying to go back to back here, Queen's Park. Of course, Presal Sports also going through from Group A, Queen's Park and Presal. Struck onto the leg side. We'll get 1. What an over this has been by Castro. Just 4 runs coming off it so far. 1 delivery to go.
See no boundaries in this over. Will he be able to keep it that way? Ball back on strike. The relatively more set batter. He'll just have to swing as hard as he can here now.
To shut down the ground, not timed at all, so we'll end with a single. So at the end of 20 overs, Victoria 138 for 7. And we're going to have a short break, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes break, and we're going to invite you to stay tuned to 360 TV. We'll see Bess Motors Marchin Patriots trying to get to 139 for victory.
You see Eric Garcia taking up the bowling for the first over of this second innings between Pro Football Victoria and Best Motors Marchin Patriots. He's looking to start things from the Willie Rodriguez end. So we see Kamil Puran taking first strike. Chandrapal Hemraj at the non-striker's end.
So Patriots trying to get to 139 to book a spot in semi-finals on Friday. This one short and a bit wide by Garcia.
Meanwhile, Victoria looking to give the statisticians a bit of overtime.
And struck away well, runs off the mark. Off his second delivery, Puran, that one races the boundary for 4.
It wasn't going to be long until we saw Puran attempt a boundary shot. Loves to do that a lot in the power play. That one had width on offer and really smashed that one. That one was getting close to that.
Yeah, Puran likes to play a shot, so as you would have mentioned, that expect a quick start here once he hangs around for a few overs.
And even more confident at this stage of the season after getting that CPL gig.
Is it Sanusha Kings he said it we're heading to this season? I believe.
I believe that is the team. Also not the first time we've seen them go for a young Trinidadian player. Saw them go for Mikel Govaya in their season-winning run. Also went for Mark Dial before that as well.
Speaking of St. Lucia Kings, Kari Pear, after spending a few seasons with St. Lucia Kings, he's be heading to the Guyana Amazon Warriors this year.
Yeah, such a consistent bowler on that Guyana surface. He might create some nightmares down there.
Six without loss, Patriots. Trying to get to 139.
Garcia here having his 2 deep fielders at mid-wicket and cover. More points than cover.
Just one a wide outside, down the leg side.
Puran was sizing that one up, wanted to lift that one over fine leg. You just see him there. A bit of concern in the run-up area. There is quite a bit of dust coming up from that area when he is running in that final stride. So he's brought in the mid-wicket fielder and sent back long off now.
Just punched onto the offside. Sounded out lost Patriots. They'll need a quick wicket. They'll need a couple early wickets, of course, this Patriots team. Bat quite deep. Not defending the largest score in the world, so a couple early wickets will certainly do them well. Victoria trying to defend this one score of 139. So struck away. So not a bad start by Garcia. At the end of 1, Patriots 7 without loss. Speaking of the depth in the batting, have the likes of Kirsten Kalicharan, Christian Turton, Raymond Reefer to come. Although also captain and wicketkeeper Adrian Ali. Tishon Castro, no slouch at the bat either.
Batted at 4-5 in their previous match and formed a great partnership with Christian Turton.
Rivaldo Ramlogan really had a good knock earlier in this competition as well, so a lot of batting to come for this Patriots outfit. Chadian Raymond will open the bowling alongside Garcia. He'll start his spell now from the southern end. So just flick down to the leg side. Work here to do for the fielder. And he can't stop that one. So 4 runs to Hemraj. He gets his first boundary of the afternoon.
Yeah, not the start that Raymond and Victoria would have wanted here. Can't be affording those extras. That occasion he did get some pad on it, so leg buys.
This one is...
Well, that's more where he would have wanted to
out,
be.
And he's out, yeah, Hemraj. Well, Hemraj signaling to the umpire that it came off the pads, but signal out by the umpires. Let's have a look again at that one. Yeah, not pleased with that decision at all, Hemraj.
It did look like it came off a bit later than when he got the bat down.
Well, that is an extremely poor decision because it just realized on the replay dropped short of the keeper as well. So that one not really played in the spirit of the game because certainly the keeper would have known that it dropped well short of him. And they claimed the catch, so fortunately there for Hemraj, he has to go. Yeah, well short of... Well, to be fair to Jeremiah Cruikshank, he didn't appeal for that decision. So he probably was also surprised that it was given out. So my apologies.
Yeah, I think the edge would have been more of the main concern of everyone at the time. Hemraj, the umpire, even Cruikshank, but there's some of those close ones where you're not too sure. I'm pretty sure on that occasion he would have known.
Yeah, so a lucky break there for Victoria.
Difficult for the umpire to see that real time, of course.
Yeah, so not sure if it hit the bat and then definitely didn't carry to wicketkeeper Cruikshank. So very unlucky there, Hemraj. But he has to go.
As we were speaking about Castro, now he's in a 3.
And he swing and a miss. Shady Raymond ran into the cover celebrating, but it's called a wide.
Yeah, they're going to go up for everything here. Their last match can't progress to that next stage.
Yeah, you see bowlers using that strategy, trying to probably distract the umpire. Maybe hoping he doesn't call it a wide, but wasn't tricked that occasion. Solid in defense there. New batsman Tishon Castro.
Look, this is the next thing with Chadian Raymond. If he starts off his spell with a wicket, he's usually much more spot on throughout. So it could be dangerous in his next few deliveries.
I'm not a person to call out officials when I'm commentating, but I'm thought probably the square leg umpire would have probably realized that it dropped short of Cruikshank, but this one is struck through the covers for 4. As I said, we have the benefit of replays as well.
Lovely shot there by Castro, showing that he's not just there for the power game.
16 for 1. So that early wicket, just what Victoria would have needed. Bit of luck as well in that dismissal. But they wouldn't complain at all, Victoria. Need to continue taking wickets with this deep batting lineup of the Patriots. Son up another play and a miss outside the off stump.
Oh, wonderful delivery. Difficult for anyone to lay bat on a delivery of that class. And just coming back in so close to that off stump, drew his batter away from his body.
So decent start for Raymond. Gets the wicket of Chandrapal Hemraj in that over. After 2 overs, Patriots 17 for 1.
Second over here for Eric Garcia. Can he follow what he saw Raymond do from the opposite end? Some good bowling at this stage, using that knowledge from the first innings, and they would have batted knowing that if you hit it on that back of a length area, it's going to be difficult to score from a pace perspective. And then when the spinners come in, then they're certainly going to slow things down as well.
This one struck in the air. Will take some catching. And it's dropped. Not sure who the fielder was there running back.
And number 77 out there. It went very high up, was running with it behind him, so always more difficult to take catches of that sort. But still, he had a lot of time to calculate the trajectory and size himself up.
Well, before I forget, I want that dismissal of...
Would have been Damien Singh out there.
Damien Singh. But that dismissal of Hemraj was actually... It seems like he was given out LBW. So I didn't actually pick up on that until a while ago. That makes a lot more sense because... Which probably might have been... If I remember the dismissal correctly, probably would have been hitting off stump. Yeah, I'm looking at the scoreboard to the eastern side of the ground. It looks like it was given LBW. Yeah, that makes sense now because didn't come off the bat and dropped well short of the keeper, Cruikshank. So LBW given. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Himraj might be feeling a bit silly now, having indicated that it came off the pad.
You're almost confirming to the umpire that made it an easier decision, I guess, for the umpire to give it LBW. So yeah, it's called given out LBW. So my apologies, I was a bit harsh on the umpires a moment ago, but seemed to be a decent decision. 20 for 1, the Patriots. So cut away is protection there on the cover boundary. So way outside the off stump. Well, not call a wide because Castro moved to the was well outside the off stump before he played that shot. Castro. That'll bring the third over to close. Patriots 21 for 1. It's a fairly watchful start here by the Patriots. Going along at 7 runs and over. Don't need anything more than 7 runs and over though. Just a single. Just not picking up cleanly there. Field at mid wicket. That's Singh, I believe. Yeah, Damian Singh.
No one in the deep on the offside. Those two deep fielders in this power play phase for Raymond, that long on and deep backwards square.
This one a big shot attempted by Castro. Just gets a inside edge and it will beat
Well,
Cruikshank and go away for 4.
a lot happened there. No ball signaled by the umpire down there as well. Definitely don't want to be overstepping and defending a total of this caliber.
Yeah, so free hit here coming for the Patriots. Yes, of course, you can't afford to give away too many extras. Defending relatively small total of 139. So pulled away, didn't time that at all. Fielder settles on and he's out caught. Oh my god, I apologize. It happens, I guess it happens to all of us. I forgot that it was a no ball. My apologies.
Well, many times it does happen to bowlers and fielders. Were you more of a bowler?
No, I was actually in my short playing career, I was more of a batsman. All that excitement for nothing. I was excited there for the Victoria.
Now a slower ball going wrong for Raymond, too wide.
Excellent line and length on this occasion by Raymond.
You just caused some uncertainty from Puran in that shot.
A bit tentative on that occasion. $30 for 1. Patriots. Fairly watchful this start, but ahead of the required run rate at this stage. Just need 7 runs and over, so don't have to be too aggressive in this run chase. Maybe one boundary and over, and a few singles will get them to this one. Is runs here for. We should get all the way, and it does. So 4 runs to Tishon Castro.
Tishon Castro saw that one was a bit shorter from Raymond, was attempting a short ball but didn't get it short enough to cause any trouble. It's an easy swivel and pull by Castro.
It is turning into expensive over here by Raymond. Raymond. So swing and a miss. Try to pull that one through the mid-wicket region, but I'll bring it over to a close. 34 for 1.
So at this stage, after 4 overs, Victoria would have been 31 for 1. Marchin Patriots just 3 runs ahead of that score. But another key thing would have been that the spin came on at that stage. Jaipal, then Kastri Singh. And we see spin coming on here as well in Daniel Bab. When the spin came on in the final 2 overs of the power play, fielding restrictions in effect, of course, would have been 1 wicket and just 7 more runs added.
So Bob starts his spell. So just driven onto the offside. Crowd runner just 6.5 runs and over. Just a single. There's protection on that cover boundary.
Even in this power play phase, the spinners aren't going to be easy to get away.
Another attempting a similar shot, Castro. He's getting an inside edge, running away to short fine leg for single. TD6 for 1, Patriots. Puran 9 of 11 had the free-flowing Camille Puran we normally see when he's opening the batting. Probably, as you would have mentioned, Dylan, maybe the wicket not playing as ball not coming onto the bat as he would have liked, would want in this on this wicket so far. Playing smartly though, just trying to get the singles to keep the scoreboard ticking over. 5 overs completed, 37 for 1.
You know, an interesting thing about Tishon Castro, his birthday is on the February 29th, the leap year day.
So in reality, let's say and what year was he born? Do you know?
Well,
for example, if he was born, let's say 1995
according to Cricinfo, it's 1992, but they're counting it by days, so they have an accurate day representation of it.
So instead of being around 32 or 33 years old, he's in fact maybe 5 or 6 because he only celebrates his birthday every 4 years.
I don't really know what those February 29th people do.
Yeah,
usually.
Probably celebrate on March the 1st.
Just vary it every year.
Yeah, maybe sometimes celebrated on February 28th.
I just did that bit of research. I hadn't known before. I just did that he had actually played a first-class match already. Played for Red Force way back in the year 2012 against Leeward Islands.
2012, so he was probably just about 20 years old at the time.
Even more interesting in that match, Evan Lewis would have been playing first-class cricket back then as well.
Yeah, Evan Lewis, no spring chicken, as they say. Struck down the ground, just a single, so getting most of their runs here in singles, Puran and Castro. Well, Jason Mohammed, speaking of Red Force veteran, Jason Mohammed, such a long, successful career. He was the only surviving member of that 2006 team that won the last 4-day competition, and he was able to end his career on a high today as Red Force wrapped up the 4-day title against the Guyana Harpy Eagles with victory in Antigua.
Well, no surprise he was also in that 2012 game I just referenced.
Yeah.
You just had a feeling this year that this cosine continues here.
This one struck in the air, and he's out caught.
It was bound to happen at this stage here. Spin is not easy to get away from what we've seen so far today. Went against the turn, trying to target that shorter side, but he was well in its way. Looks like Joachim down there. Yeah, you just had a feeling that this would have been the year for Red Force, Jason Mohammed, with that long career. There's always been chatter in the past few seasons about if he should still be on the team. Well, he showed that this season and guided them very nicely.
It was the most prolific season for Mohammed, but he shared an excellent partnership yesterday with Evan Lewis. Big third wicket partnership between the pair. Of course, Evan Lewis and Mohammed putting on around 100 runs for that third wicket really set up decent total in that second innings. Actually taking a catch there was actually skipper Johan Jeremiah. It was well struck by Castro, but hit it straight to Jeremiah at mid-off. So that wicket brings Kirsan Kalicharan to the crease.
That's another factor of this Patriots lineup. They're not afraid to mix up that batting order. There's so many batters around the world are so drawn to their positions.
So Victorious hanging around in this match. 2 wickets in the power play. So it's all of a sudden this score total of target of 140 looks just a bit harder now, just slightly. Excitement in the field here shown by Victoria.
Yeah, drop and run. They didn't want him to get that single and get off the mark so easily.
Pooran 12 or 15 deliveries, not the strike rate we're accustomed seeing from him. So struck away well. Not the best fielding there by a backward point fielder, and he gets 4. Pooran. Looks like Daniel Barb misfielding on that occasion.
He must have been thinking about the next over that he's going to be bowling already. It was right there for him to stop.
After misfielding some signal, I'm not sure if had a bit of spin on it that made it a bit more difficult to field. Patriots here with just a slight edge. Of course, with a lot of batting to come still, but they're 2 wickets down and just a quiet run rate of 6.7 runs and over. Have to continue taking wickets here, Victoria. But they've kept the Patriots batting relatively quiet so far. Just a few boundaries so far in this innings. Kirsan Kalitran, of course, former West Indies under 19 player. Barb is looking for his wicket. This one is driven away. Runs here for Kalitran. Should get at least 2 here. Will come back for 2 quite comfortably. Damien Joachim does the fielding. No wickets just yet for Daniel Barb. Played a late cameo earlier with the bat, Barb. Has a job to do with the ball now, though. This one is outside that off stump.
I don't think that one was actually outside. That was a relatively close one.
Yeah, it seemed to be a bit harsh call on this occasion.
Actually, just the other day in the IPL, I saw a very similar one to that, and it was basically reviewed by the bowler right away.
Quick single here taken by Purana and Kalicharan. Yeah, just going at strike rate of 100 now, Kamil Puran. He's a player who normally bats with a strike rate of well over 100.
Yeah, but you can't bat like that all the time. He's showing off some range here now, trying to bat a bit deeper than he has previously.
Yeah, doing a good effort in picking up those singles, the occasional boundary. Another single to him.
Sure, he might have taken some inspiration from his teammate and opening partner, Evan Lewis.
Yeah, Evan Lewis had a bit of a rough tournament before this match, but coming up big when it mattered most for the Red Force. What a tournament was for fast bowlers Jaden Seals and Anderson Phillip as well. Joshua De Silva scored quite a few runs as well. Amir Jangu. Even Cephas Cooper, who started off very slowly, delivered in that playoff against Barbados Pride. One struck through the offside. Work here to do for the fielder. Well done by, that's Raymond.
It really was powerfully struck. He did well to get around there in time, Raymond.
He certainly saved a couple runs. 7 overs complete, 53 for 2.
'86 and 78 deliveries, certainly a manageable target.
Yeah, need a couple more wickets soon, Victoria. Need to keep taking wickets. Speaking of wickets, this bowler is just, his name slipped me. He got a wicket earlier in the innings. Yeah, Rajiv Gosain. Yeah, this one struck down the ground by Puran. Runs here. Will go close to the boundary, but well fielded.
Yeah, both Gosain and Matthew Patrick bowled very well in that previous match against Powergen, trying to defend a total of around 186, I believe. But that surface, there was so many runs on offer that Powergen still chased it down with time to spare. They would have had to get their net run rate up as well as they could have. But throughout that middle phase, Patrick and Gosain really slowed the run scoring.
So just flicked onto the leg side. Well, a no ball, that never good sight to see a spin bowler bowling a no ball. Gosain overstepping on this occasion.
Really uncalled for.
Yeah, completely unacceptable.
He's just going through his run-up steps again to ensure he doesn't redo that.
So free hit here coming. Struck down the ground by Kalicharan and well struck for 6. What a hit by Kalicharan.
It's one of the straightest shots I've ever seen.
Yeah, dead straight on that occasion. It was full pitch delivery by, and sort of straight down the leg side as well by Gosign.
Right back at that side screen.
Yeah, so decent over here for the Patriots. Already 9 runs coming off this over. Still 2 deliveries to go. 62 for 2 now. So it cuts away, just finds a fielder at backward point. It's Bob doing the fielding.
No slip up on this occasion.
So pulled away. It's in the air, but it will land safely. Will run away to the boundary for 4 as well. So great, productive over here for the Patriots. And at the end of 8, Patriots starting to put themselves in a more comfortable position now. They're 66 for 2.
Really, that was a brilliant shot. Using the trajectory quite well. And picked his area. Knew that fielder was just a bit squarer. So you knew you had to play that shot fine enough, and he certainly did.
Yeah, good start to his innings here, Calitron. 16 off 10 deliveries.
And look at that requirement now, 73 and 72.
Yeah, so just about to run a ball. Yeah, need a couple wickets soon here. Victoria. Daniel Bob will bowl the 9th over of this innings.
Yeah, of course, in that first innings, we were seeing similar sorts of strike rate. You see Camel around 20 from 20, but now in this run chase, when you know that target is not too much of an issue.
Yeah, we saw Marchin Patrick and Cruikshank sort of batting at a strike rate of around 100 throughout most of their innings. Batting very smartly this afternoon, Puran.
Yeah, of course, the winners, the only thing they need, they could do it off the last ball, if anything.
I'm sure they wouldn't want to make it that close. But yeah, all they need is 2 points this afternoon. The Patriots. That semi-final spot will be theirs. Of course, Calitran, just remember that he would have broken Brian Lara's, I believe, on the 14 school record many years ago. Not sure if that record still stands for Calitran. I believe he scored more than 400 runs in an under 14 match. This one is cut away.
Yeah, I would have to say you might have a bit more knowledge on that topic. I don't know the under 14 school cricket all that well.
Yeah, well, those days under 14 cricket wasn't covered on a weekly basis, but I remember it making the news because the score was so significant and getting past the great Brian Lara was all over the media. That was many years ago, of course. I believe it was around 2013, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Calitran now, of course, in his around 26, 27 years old now. Yeah, smart batting here by Puran. End of 9 overs now, 69 for 2.
So now we see Matthew Patrick entering the attack. More off spin from this end.
Yeah, more runs here for. Will go close to the boundary, but will be stopped just inside the ropes. 2 more to Puran. Here, this partnership moving along nicely now. See, 31 off 22 deliveries. This partnership. Yeah, this partnership probably starting to smell that semi-finals now. Patriots starting to taste it. Need wickets here, Victoria. And the singles, so runs coming along quite comfortably here now. 72 for 2. So no wide down the leg side.
Interesting bit of field placing here. That cover sweeper is very much towards extra cover rather than regulation cover. Both of these batters do like to go lofted in that region as well.
Of course, after this over, we'll have the drinks break. Patriots certainly will be the happy of the two teams at that 10 over interval. This one again, just push onto the offside, quick single. Of course, Mary Boys and Clark Road, KFC Clark Road coming up at 7 p.m. Can call it a quarter-final showdown because the winner will go through to the semi-finals on Friday.
If we go more a modern T20 term, the eliminator.
That's correct. Was that eliminator used in the CPL and IPL and so on? 74 for 2 Patriots. So just push down the ground, get another single quite comfortably. Well, they're going to try hard for 2. Well, they're thinking of 2. If they ran that first one a bit harder, because Raymond Fielding at long had a lot of ground to cover. By the end of 10 overs, we'll have a short break for drinks. Patriots trying to get to 139 or 75 for 2. play is about to resume here following the drinks break. Patriots 75 for 2. Decent position here, the Patriots. This one struck away, more runs here for work here to do for Raymond. Brilliantly fielded by Raymond on the boundary. He's been a real live wire fielding on the boundary this afternoon. Raymond certainly stopping quite a few runs. Diving effort there and stopping it with one hand. Had quite a bit of work to do running to his left, feeling at long off. So, keeping Puran to 2 runs. This one struck in the air. A big hit for 6, so not sure what would have been set to Puran at the drinks break, but 2 aggressive shots after the resumption. You're hitting to the short side of the ground. Cleared the boundary with some ease. So Victoria really need a breakthrough desperately here now. Score now 83 for 2. We're chasing this one. More runs here and that'll be 4 more to Puran. So what a over here for the Patriots. Already 12 runs coming off this over. My apologies. Yeah, 12 runs. Yes, it says 12 runs. So 4, 6, and a 2 as well. Listen, Puran now has raced to 38. 12 runs already in this over. Just 3 balls gone. So Daniel Barber. Expensive over here so far. This one more runs here. This one is just be a single. Raymond does the fielding again. Pushes the score along to 88 for 2. Yeah, so Puran seems to be in a bit of a hurry now. He had a strike rate of 100 for almost his entire innings, but that strike rate up to around 125 or so now. Bob now into Kalicharan. 88 for 2. He had his partnership with 48 of 32 deliveries. Just 51 runs away from victory now. It's expensive over there, bowled by Bob. 13 runs coming off it. Patriots 88 for 2. Need to find a breakthrough somewhere, Victoria. Of course, only playing for pride in this match, Victoria. Even a victory wouldn't see them through to the semi-finals on Friday. No victories for Victoria in this tournament just yet, but hoping to end on a high. Of course, win for the Patriots will see them book their place on Friday. So pulled away. More runs here for Puran. Should get 4, and that will be 4 more. So Puran certainly going into another gear now. He is into the 40s now. He's raced to 43. Partnership also worth 50 now between these two. This partnership has really sort of taken the game away from Victoria. They were 40 odd for 2 at one point, the Patriots, but this 50-run partnership sees them in a comfortable position now, trying to get to 139 for victory. Yeah, less than a run a ball required now from this stage. 47 needed, or 52 deliveries. Puran will get 1. Think of 2. They will come. No, they'll send back. Oh, the overthrow. Yeah, so they get 2 in the end because of the overthrow. So 2 more to Puran. No, just 5 runs away from. Yeah, see a bit of a mix-up there. Yeah, Calitran was trying to keep track of where that ball was. Pretty wild throw coming in there from the boundary. Another single. Another decent over here for Bess Motors Marchin Patriots. Seven runs off it already. Still 2 deliveries to go. So pulled away more runs here for Patriots. Just a single. There's protection on that backward point, backward square leg boundary. Cuts away. This one going down to the third man boundary. Work here to do for Bob. Not sure if he pulled that one back in time. Yeah, he's saying it's 4, so he signaled 4. So good honesty there shown by Bob. So another expensive over there. Bowled by Victoria. And the end of 12 overs. Patriots large and in charge now. They're 99 for 100 for 2 actually. That boundary brings up the century 100. Yeah, that one couldn't stop that one, Daniel Bauer. So 100 for 2 now, and that boundary also brought up the 54 Kamil Puran of 36 deliveries.
Only 50. Yeah.
Yeah, 54 Kamil Puran coming off 36 deliveries, 5 4s and 1 6. Really motoring along now. Puran, he was just at a strike rate of 100 for most of his innings, but following that drinks break, he's really kicked it up a notch here. His partnership with almost 60 runs now. Another easy single here. Runs coming quite comfortably now for this pair of Calitran and Puran. Yeah, strike rate of 138 now for Kamil Puran. Of course, as mentioned earlier, Kamil Puran has been signed this year signed to play in the CPL this year. 2 more to Puran. Damian Joachim has joined the attack now. He needs to find a wicket or 2 here for his team. Well, very unusual looking shot, but he will get 4. So runs continue to flow here for the Patriots. Let's have a look at the replay of that one. He played it very late. Puran. Going 7 for 2. If the Patriots continue at this rate, they will probably get to this target with quite a few of us to spare. And this partnership really taking the game away from the Patriots. So cuts away. Another single to Kalicharan. And the end of 13 overs, Patriots inching closer to this victory target. They're now 109 for 2. Marchin Patrick starts another over, giving himself room on that occasion. Kalicharan didn't get any bats on it. Another play on a miss by Kalicharan. This one struck in the air. Does it have enough in it? It does, yeah. So 6 runs to Kalicharan. So Patriots, following that drinks break, seem to be in a hurry now, Patriots. At the innings break, they were 75 for 2 after 10 overs. So the Patriots, following that drinks break, have scored 40 runs in just 3.5 overs. This one another. Trying to get another boundary on that occasion, Kalicharan. Yeah, certainly going into another gear following that water break. Less than 4 runs and over required now. This one chugged down the ground. Does it have enough in it? Brilliant effort by, seems to be Raymond on the boundary. Well, if he couldn't get it, I don't think any of the other Victoria fielders would have gotten their hands on that one. Good effort by Raymond there on the boundary. A good camera work by our 360 TV team. Yeah, tried. Yeah, well, even if he put in the dive, I'm almost certain his momentum would have taken him over the boundary. So 2 sixes in this over. Coming off the bat of Kalicharan again, and this one is struck in the end. Doesn't get all of it on this occasion. A fielder settles on it. Well, in that and it lands in no man's land. Those boundaries on that leg side, on the eastern end of the ground, large boundaries. A lot of work for those fielders running in from the boundary, and couldn't get there in the end. And Patriots now just 16 runs away from victory, 123 for 2. Yeah, so just 16 runs away from booking their spot in the semi-finals. Now 15 runs away. This one struck down the ground again by Puran. Does it have enough on it? It does. So 6 more to Kamil Puran. He races into the 60s now. He's onto 63 or 40 deliveries. Talk about switching gears. They were 75 for 2 after 10 overs. They have raced to 130 for 2. So following the break, they have scored 55 runs in a little more than 4 overs. What a great ball striking here in these last overs. And again another 6 by Puran. In a hurry now. Just 3 runs away from victory and sealing a spot in the semi-finals. So what absolutely brilliant ball striking we've seen here from Kamil Puran and Kalitran following that drinks break. Has been quite some spectacular hitting. This one driven here down the ground should be maybe the winning runs. No, brilliantly fielded by Bob. So 2 more to the total. Yeah, good feeling there by Bob. Scores are now tied. So Patriot just run away from sealing that semi-final spot. Of course, there'll be an action on Friday. $138 for 2. What a run chase in the last 4.5 overs. Scoring at around 11, 12 runs and over. And that will bring the match to a close. Kamil Puran hits a 6, clears the boundary on that leg side, and Patriots seal a spot in the semi-finals. Dylan?
Brilliant display of power hitting to finish this off for Marchin Patriots. It's at that 10 over mark. Take things comfortably home and then to be a bit of a dressing room, like I said. Finished a bit earlier, and certainly they did. 77 not out from Kamil Puran. A brilliant supporting knock of 55 not out from Mr. Kali Charan. Those 2 early wickets fell. It might have just been a few nerves, but yet again we've seen this team. Yes, so that a brilliant finish by Marchin Patriots. 77 not out from Kamil Puran. Brilliant display of power hitting coming down to the very end. 35 not out. A lovely supporting knock from Kirsten Kalicharan. Just at that 10 over mark, things were looking like they might get home about the 17th, 18th over maybe. And, well, might have been a few words coming from those in the dugout to say, finish it a bit earlier. We don't want any nerves down here. And, well, they really just demolished the spinners coming down in the later phase there. It was 6 after 6 after 6. So Marchin Patriots march into the semi-finals. Of course, we'll confirm who they'll be up against a bit later on today or tomorrow. And what this victory does is, well, Victoria will always out of the tournament. And this victory here seals Marchin Patriots' spot in that semi-finals. It also means the second match today between KFC Clark Road and Mary Boys Sports Club. That'll be a knockout match, a eliminator if you may. And what it also means is that Power Gen Penal Sports Club are also out of this tournament after a bit of a later season resurgence after losing their first 2 games. Just wasn't enough in the end. So we'll take you down to the post-match presentation very shortly. And we'll hear from both of these captains.
match between Victoria United Sports Club and Bess Marchin Patriots. Congratulations to Patriots for booking their spot in the semi-finals on Friday with a wicket victory over Victoria United. The first Trinidad Cricket Board takes this opportunity to sincerely thank the British Premier League, TPR, and the Queen's Park Club for their valued support of the Trinidad T20 Festival 2026 and their continued investment in the future of World Cricket. At this time, we invite Mr. Amar Samaru, member of the Executive Committee of the TTCB Cricket Board, to present the Man of the Match Award for this match to Kabir Pura for 77 not out of 43 deliveries that include 6 fours and 4 sixes. Please, Kumar. Mr. Kumar for a short injury. Kuran's players that are running out of the start. Second year without a plan going into the kids.
First three games certainly batted well, so I think myself first day don't get wicket and once I stay in the wicket I got to
Moving ahead, what improvements would you like to see from yourself moving into that semi-final stage?
well, to be honest, always the same thing I did today, stay in your place, batters don't be selective and continue with the format that I have.
Fine question. Will you be playing CPL this year? It's still correct. It's pretty how you feel about when you got that news.
To be honest, I'm speechless. I'm very excited and hoping I can really do something about it.
Run on this one. Thank you. Now we fight for the captain of Victoria United, Johan Jeremiah. To ask two questions. Johan, this tournament didn't go as you would have wanted. Anything you think the team could have done a bit better?
Yeah, it's always a sad feeling inside, but we realize that as a game, we don't have much experience yet in this tournament, so I think that's where we lack. And it's just for us to go back to the drawing board of the club and see where we can improve for the next year.
Speaking of improvement, what exactly, what are possibly a couple of areas you hope to see a better performance in this tournament?
I think it's our improvement, how we back and forth, so it's just for us to keep back to the players another time, we wasted the short season, so that's something to be grateful for.
Thank you, Alex. Now we fight with the captain of the Patriots, Adrian Harley, to answer these questions. Skip, 2 wins away from another title this season. What do you feel about the performance of the team today?
I think today was good. I think just as we planned yesterday, it's good to see the guys come out and execute today.
Your spin bowling and batting seems to trick as well. Your depth in batting, you seem to switch up the batting order from time to time. Is that how good is it to feel that you can call on different guys to bat at different positions?
I mean, any other guys that want to hit good bat anyway. I mean, obviously, it's good to see Carl getting a big score. So that peaking at the right time in the tournament. We had a discussion with him. We told him the quick starts at the beginning is okay, but obviously he needs the carry, and especially after he has now been selected playing the CPL. So it's good to see him go out and take the victory today.
Speaking of CPL and so on and Patriots, what do you feel about your Red Force led by Evan Lewis? He's a Patriots player. How do you feel that Evan Lewis and Kuran having a great week? How do you think as their leader, how do you feel about that?
Congrats to the Red Force, obviously winning the championship after 20 years. So it's good to see Evan as well doing well, scoring 100 after being away for such a long time. So it's good to see the guys in the front. Congrats to Riyad, obviously, and the team. And Kamal, as I said, he has his entire career ahead of him. So just look forward to better things from him.
Adrian Ali, captain of the Patriots, all the best moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to match presentations. Thank you.